Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, guys, we're going to be reacting to grading every Lakers free agency signing after not getting Kawhi Leonard, of course. So, yeah, I thought for the most part, bro, a lot of the decisions out here was pretty good. But this is a video by Caney. I must have said that wrong. Kane Loves Cali. Link to his channel in the description below. And yeah, man, basically, I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on if I think that these gradings out... Y'all have deja vu before, man? Like, literally, as I'm doing this intro for this specific video, you guys ever had, like, that feeling where you're just like, you've done this before? Have I done this video? No, because it's a new video, bro. I don't know, man. I'm having some serious deja vu right now. Like, I've been in this same exact situation. I gotta go outside, man. I'm not gonna go outside, man. Graphics suck out there, bro. All right, here we go, man. Let's all go ahead and grade all these and see what it's all about.
Welcome back, you guys. And the Lakers waited about 7 days to see if they could get Kawhi Leonard, and they did not. So they filled out the roster with a bunch of players. As soon as Kawhi signed with the Clippers, the Lakers had like 3 deals done within the hour. I'm going to put a letter grade on all of these signings, so let me know if...
I think in the long term of things, getting the depth is going to be more valuable to this Lakers squad. I'm just going to say that.
I'm on point or off base.
More valuable for sure.
To clear any confusion on the grading, if I give somebody a letter C grade, that means I think it's a fine deal, just about average. Nothing bad, but it's not amazing either. I'm going to go in order of how it was reported once the Kawhi news went down.
Okay.
The first play...
Danny Green. That is a 2-year, $30 million contract. I'm going to say Danny Green was a B+. Not quite an A signing. I'm kind of teetering between like B and B+. But the thing that's giving you in the B+ range is that he was like a 46% 3-point shooter last season. So that's absolutely amazing. It's just like he is like a bit older now. Not like, he's not exactly freaking, in the grave yet or nothing like that. So I would say probably a B+ sign. I do like this pickup a lot. I think it's a nice veteran championship experience, obviously. So B+.
Player the Lakers signed was Danny Green, and they got him on a 2-year, $30 million contract.
That's a long contract.
He is the 3rd highest paid player on the Lakers. Danny is coming off a season with the Toronto Raptors where he shot 45% on threes and was a part of their top 5 defensive unit in the regular season.
Yeah, that's a B+.
Outside of a few games in the playoffs, Danny's shooting fell off from what it was in the regular season, and it was just used to chase around the best perimeter guys. At 6'5", Danny can go from defending JJ Redick at the 3-point line to challenging Chris Middleton in the mid-post area. When I hear the phrase 3-and-D player, Danny Green is one of the first players I think of.
This jump shot is clowny, man.
That's
a clowny jump shot.
That has multiple ball-dominant players. Next to LeBron and Anthony Davis, Danny will be parked in the corner waiting for passes when somebody is double-teamed, and he will be defending the other team's best perimeter threat.
We also got to make a note that, yes, his shooting percentage fell off a little bit, but you got to think about this. It's like Kawhi obviously gets double, triple team, whatever like that. But besides that, I don't really see people go out there double team like Pascal Siakam and Marcus Gasol or players like that. So there will be double teams on LeBron James, on Anthony Davis. So I do think that does open up more opportunities for Danny Green.
I'd expect him to be their starting shooting guard on opening night. The Lakers had a slightly above average team defense last season, so now with AD and Danny Green, at the very least they should be able to replicate that. When the Lakers get to the playoffs, they might see Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, Damian Lillard, Paul George, Jamal Murray, and Steph Curry. The Lakers have a guy in Danny Green to match up with them.
He'll help.
But Green is 32 years old, can barely dribble, and $15 million per year is probably slightly too much. But his skill set is of high value around the NBA, so I get why you have to go out of your way to pay him. I give this a B. This was a good signing.
Fair enough.
The second player the Lakers signed was JaVale McGee, and they got him on a 2-year, $8.2 million.
JaVale McGee, probably one of his best seasons last year, right? You could say that. I mean, a guy that can get, throw back some shots, catch the ball around the rim, man, finish it. I think it's better than just average. I think this was a nice re-signing. I don't quite put it in the A range yet. I'm going to say, once again, I don't think it's a B+. I'm going to say like a B- or a B. I'm going to say a B-. It's slightly above average. Yes, it was nice to get him back. B-.
Deal. In case you forgot, JaVale had a pretty good start to the 2018 season with the Lakers. He was catching easy alley-oops from LeBron. He was top 3 in league field goal percentage. He was leading the league in blocks per game and truly looked like a starter. In the first 8 games of the year, JaVale was averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks on 63% shooting. But around December, he was hospitalized with pneumonia, and predictably, his defense fell off, and he just wasn't the same guy moving around the court. But he had a nice last few weeks of the season when he finally got healthy, and he looked closer to the version of himself that was playing in the beginning of the year. JaVale is not going to transform your defense, but he'll affect some shots at the rim,
Yeah, he'll be good
have some
enough.
gravity when he
Good
rolls
enough.
to the basket, and gets offensive rebounds. It should be interesting to see where he fits in, because he could play next to Anthony Davis in the starting
Damn, dude,
lineup,
that's a
and
monster
they'd have a
slam,
pretty
bro.
strong rebounding and shot blocking group, or he could come off the bench. I'm cool with the signing. It's just 2 years. JaVale is a
okay.
fine
I
backup
said B
center
minus,
or
fair
occasional
enough.
starter.
C+,
I'll give
good.
this a C+. The next player the Lakers signed,
KCP. I think they probably should just let him walk, I'm being honest, man. Like, especially now they got, like, Avery Bradley, and, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Caruso get a few minutes as shooting guard. KCP, to me, is too streaky. It's not, like, in the D range, because, like, he's still okay. Like, he's still, like, a three-point shooter, just not very consistent at times. I'm going to say, like, a C-. Like, but just below average, C-.
was Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They brought him back on a 2-year, $16 million deal. I know a lot of Lakers fans and people who aren't even fans of the team groaned and laughed at KCP returning to the Lakers for a third season. You knew he was coming back either way if they got Kawhi or not. You just got to think of this as a tax from Clutch Sports for having AD and LeBron on your team. The thing is, I don't think this is too bad of a deal as a backup shooting guard. You can do a lot worse than KCP here. He's 6'5" and is pretty fast moving side to side. He does a good job chasing shooters and point guards around screens when he's
like a
locked
poor
in
man's
defensively.
Danny Green. I mean,
in theory, and when he's at his best,
inconsistent Danny Green.
KCP is a good 3-and-D player. The problem is that he's so inconsistent and he'll randomly have a malfunction on the court.
Yep.
He takes some bad 3-point shots and does dumb stuff. You got to remember, this guy was the 8th pick in the draft back in 2013, so he probably thinks of himself more than just being a spot-up guy. He does have his moments, but within the context of this Lakers roster, he's going to have to embrace being Danny Green. And that's why I'm not mad at the Lakers for bringing him back. When you have LeBron, Anthony Davis, and DeMarcus Cousins eating up offensive possessions, you're going to need players on the roster that are going to spot up around the three-point line and focus on defense. It's only 2 years, and again, as a backup shooting guard, you can do a lot worse than KCP. Look at these deals some of these other role players are getting.
Yep, I agree.
I'll hold my nose and give this somewhere between a C- and a C. Quinn Cook signed to the Lakers.
Quinn Cook. You know, the fact that they got Rondo back, I honestly, like based off their circumstance, it just kind of getting shafted towards having to wait on free agency, like waiting for like Kawhi's decision. I give this one probably like a B+, A-, just because it gives you a different dimension, a different style of player from Rajon Rondo. The contract wasn't like ridiculous, and I think he's got some pretty good potential. Just be a solid like he can be the Mario Chalmers of this Lakers team. You know how like what Mario Chalmers was to the big three on the Heat. I think he's the Mario Chalmers and a guy that doesn't really handle the basketball all that much, but can definitely knock down some 3-point shots, do some nice things there.
Lakers for $6 million over 2 years. One of the big things that the Lakers were missing last year with LeBron was 3-point shooting at the guard position. Even when the Lakers were healthy and a projected playoff team, they struggled with spacing because teams did not have to respect their 3-point shooting and could bottle up driving lanes. Bringing in Quinn Cook should help out those issues. In the last 2 regular seasons with the Warriors, he has shot over 40% from 3.
That's nuts, man.
He can make some plays off the bounce at times, but his main role is going to be spotting up for threes and maybe making a last-second shot clock drive to the rim. Maybe some pick and rolls with Boogie in the bench lineup as well. His defense is not good, so I would not expect much from him there. Quinn's job is to be a scoring punch off the bench. I'll give this one a C.
Right,
it's a fine deal to get a backup point guard that shoots 40% on threes.
I thought it was just a little better than a C just based off the circumstances. And like, okay, well, yeah, I mean, you didn't get stuck with, like, I don't even know, just insert bad point guard right there. Like Quinn Cook's fine. He'll be nice.
DeMarcus Cousins signed a 1-year deal for
A+. Low risk, high reward. Keep it at that. If he's a bitch ass, you get him off the squad. You still got JaVale. If he ends up being King's Boogie, well, look, you got him for $3.5 million for his season, man. That's such a W.
$5 million.
Such a W.
And this was probably the best signing to me. DeMarcus's production heavily outweighs the amount he is getting paid. He did not have a market from many teams because he wanted a long-term deal, and teams were not having that.
Like,
I talked about it before on here. People are way too down on DeMarcus Cousins. He was recovering from an Achilles injury. He tore his quad in the playoffs and probably came back earlier than he should. He had some bad games in the finals, but he had some moments in games 4, 5, and 6 versus the Raptors that helped them stay in the game. You can't judge him just off of a few bad finals games after he was coming off of a quad injury. There are other games to play too in the regular season. DeMarcus had a couple productive games against Houston and Denver who are legit playoff teams. In the month of March, DeMarcus was averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
And you gotta mention too, like he didn't play like a full season or nothing like that. So just like getting back into like game mode and stuff after a major injury like that, like it takes time. It takes time. He has an entire offseason now with the Lakers to get things going, so he'll be good.
52% shooting.
He'll be great.
I don't know about you guys, but getting somebody that's 7 foot who can score, rebound, and pass for just $3.5 million a year is a good signing. The question I have to ask is, will DeMarcus start with Anthony Davis, or will he come off the bench? The Lakers do have some options here. He could run the bench unit like he did with Golden State and do fine, or they can run it back with the Cousins-Davis front line in the starting lineup.
I kind of like that, man.
That duo was pretty effective in the minutes they played in New Orleans, but Cousins was more healthy at that time, so we can only use some of that information. His defense at this point won't be reliable, but this is still a good signing for the Lakers. I give it a B. The third to last...
Rondo is a B. It's just a B. He's not... I mean, he's a really good re-sign. I wouldn't say he's like amazing, like a big-time A or nothing like that, but plain simple, with Rondo, you are getting a guy that has chemistry with Boogie and Anthony Davis and LeBron James and Kuzma and all those guys. So, literally, man, like, he's played with all the great players of the Lakers. That's probably a B+. The
best player the Lakers got after losing out on Kawhi Leonard was Rajon Rondo. The Lakers brought him back on a 2-year veterans minimum contract. He has a player option in year 2. The signing has not been made official, but I don't think they'll undo the reported deal. But if they do, oh well, I'm still doing this part of the video. I'm going to be honest,
Savage.
Rondo at this point in his career is kind of cheeks. The dribble until I get my assist gimmick he doesn't hit the same. He's going to be 34 next season. His defense is only going to get worse, and he has no use with LeBron on the court. That was one of the things about Luke Walton's rotation that bothered me. He would close games with Rondo even though he's giving you nothing on defense. The young players say Rondo is a good leader and good guy to have in the locker room. I believe them. That's fine. But he should not be closing games with the Lakers now.
Oh, man.
The offense goes through LeBron and AD. Surround those guys with shooters and defenders, not guys that need to dribble. At a certain point, Rondo becomes redundant because you have LeBron who's just better at the things Rondo does well. Everyone's always talking about playoff Rondo, but you have to wait until April for that, and then you have to stomach all the bad regular season games he has. The only reason why I'm not completely panning the signing is because it's a veteran's minimum contract, and he has chemistry with AD and Cousins. Apparently, LeBron is going to play point guard, so that means Rondo isn't going to start, which is good for the Lakers.
C-,
Rondo should be like a 15-minute per game guy
and
should never close games. I'll be nice and give this a C-.
He's convinced me. Okay.
So the Lakers brought back Alex Caruso.
What's the alien alphabet that goes beyond A? There's just gotta be something, man. Just gotta be some made-up word, just some letter out there that's just non-existent, non-comprehensible of mankind. That would be Alex Caruso.
After being in the Lakers
farm
system
for a few years
and playing with the actual team, he got a 2-year extension for $5.5 million. I like this deal a lot. It means the Lakers are going to give him a real shot to get backup minutes. What I like about certain role players on teams that are contending is if they're aware of their role within the context of the roster. Alex Caruso is 6'5" and actually tries on defense, which is about 70% of the battle. He also moves the ball well. He's not one of those dribble, I need to get my assist type of players. Caruso can play within a team offense. He also shot 48% on threes last year, but it was only on about 3 attempts per game, so it's not like he's taking a high volume of them. But it's a good sign that he's making them in the small amount of attempts he gets. I like this deal a lot. As long as he's given a fair shot at backup guard minutes, I don't see how this can turn out bad.
Put him over
He's
KCP
an unselfish role player. I give it a C+. The last player on here is
Avery Bradley. I'm gonna say that's a C. Like, we know, like, Avery Bradley is not as good as he was before. I mean, he gives you some depth at least, but I don't really expect Avery Bradley to be like a consistent part of the rotation.
Avery Bradley, who signed with the Lakers for $9.7 million over 2 years. So if you haven't been paying attention to Avery over the last few years since he was traded from Boston, I don't blame you.
But he
hasn't been that great, to be honest. In the 49 games with the Clippers he played, he averaged 8 points on 38% shooting, and the Clippers got better on defense when they traded him to Memphis. In 15 games with Memphis, he put up averages of 16 points on 46% shooting, but those games were pretty meaningless. Bradley is still kind of living off his reputation from Boston. He can still chase around point guards, but because of his height, he's not going to be a reliable switch defender. The positives on offense with Avery Bradley is that he did shoot 40% on wide open threes last year, and that's all he's going to be doing on offense when he's on the floor with AD and LeBron. He's going to need to replicate that this season. All he needs to focus on is defending the Dame Lillard and Jamal Murrays of the world and make your threes when you're open. He does fill a need, so I'm not going to completely pan it, but don't expect Boston Celtics Avery Bradley.
Yeah,
I guess
agree.
I'll give it a
C.
C.
That's a C.
It could work out even more. Maybe Avery Bradley revives his career, but for now, it's a C. The Lakers also got Troy Daniels from the Phoenix Suns,
A++.
who shot 40% on threes 2 years ago. I was actually at the game against the Raptors where he had his career high of 32 points. He can shoot, but he can't defend much. More shooting on this roster. I'm not really going to complain there.
Oh, come on.
We also got Jared Dudley, who's a good locker room guy. He can play the power forward spot next to LeBron in some minutes maybe. After what happened with the Lakers last year, they need guys like Jared that are low maintenance, aren't going to complain, and just be positive people around the team. This offseason was a lot better than last year's. No real bad signings when you factor in contract length. Some of the fit stuff is weird, but whatever. You got three-point shooting and guys who can defend point guards, and like I've mentioned a million times, that's what you need on a roster with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So that's it for me. Do you guys like the Lakers' moves?
I think overall they had a great offseason, definitely. They definitely regained their balance after the whole Kawhi thing went on. One last signing I would like to see, though, I would like to see them go out there and get another big man because, like, as we saw from this video, they got a ton of guards out there. But outside of, like, Boogie and JaVale, you don't really have another center. Like, of course, you know, I know that Anthony Davis can play it and stuff, but then you lack spacing and other issues out there in some man. So, I don't know, man. Just would like to see him go out there and get, like, a third-string center. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's neither here nor there. So, anyway, guys, this was a fantastic breakdown of their offseason. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Check out his channel in the description below, and peace out, my friends.